What do you find your identity in? Are you black? Are you white? Are you male or female? Are you rich, poor, Republican, or Democrat? These are the categories we seek to find our identity in. But this is a problem. When we find our identity in our skin, our gender, our political field, we fight a losing battle. If we find our satisfaction in any of these things, when someone disagrees or does not feel the same way, the only thing we can do is fight against it. If all of our hopes and all of our satisfaction comes from these things, we're walking a fine line. The problems we are facing today is that we are so proud of what we find our identity in. When someone expresses their pride in their own identity, we don't see it as okay. Rather, we see it as an attack upon our own identity. Take, for example, if someone is a Republican and someone else says they are a Democrat, within that conversation there is instant animosity between the two people. It isn't because one is greater than the other or better than the other. It is because we want to be at the top of the food chain. This problem goes for everything that we find our identity in. It isn't just political field. However, this problem was solved by Christianity a long time ago. Don't get me wrong, Christians can still struggle with where they find their identity in. But Paul, the apostle, gave us the guidelines for Christianity and our identity a long time ago. Galatians 3, verses 26 and 28 says this: "For you are children of God through faith in Christ Jesus. All who have been united with Christ in baptism have put on Christ, like putting on new clothes. There is no longer Jew or Gentile, slave or free, male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." As Christians, we find our identity in Jesus Christ. That means whatever your skin tone, whatever your gender, whatever political party you find yourself with, whatever it may be, your identity in Christ is greater than it. When someone who is not the same gender, skin tone, or political party comes to you and expresses their boast in their identity, it should have no impact on you. You should have no hatred, no hostility. You should not feel like you are being attacked. You should look beyond anything of the flesh and look to our Creator. We are in a time of hatred, fueled by our identity crisis. As Christians, we need to be the example in this time. We are called by Christ to be the peacemakers among hostility. If you are a Christian, you have no right to hate anyone for their gender, skin tone, nationality, political affiliation, or anything that might be the opposite of what you are. You are called to love your neighbor. I challenge you in the same way Jesus Christ and Paul the Apostle have challenged Christians from the beginning of Christianity, that you would look beyond these differences and love your neighbor, your fellow brother and sister. Show them what love looks like. Now, I know not all of you are Christians, and if you're not, I challenge you and I encourage you to seek a true identity in Christ. An identity far beyond skin tone, political faction, or anything that is of this world. If you truly want to fight hatred, if you want to fight bigotry, racism, oppression, or any cause that you truly believe in, then finding your identity in something greater than all of these things is the solution for you. If you are or are not a Christian, you will be faced with these problems. But I can promise you, if your identity is in anything else besides Christ, this is going to drag you down into hatred, into bigotry, racism, all the things you search and fight for. But if you truly want to fight all of these things, you need to look no further than Jesus Christ and His salvation. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I hope that you are challenged to take your identity and who you find yourself to be into the world, and that it would not be a stumbling block. That through your understanding of your true identity, you would be able to impact this world and drive it from hatred, oppression, bigotry, and racism into a new creation, as we are all created new in Christ. God bless.